So to have the conversation about Muhammad and the initial spread of Islam, I'm going to first lay the foundation for what Muslims believe, beginning with the 5 pillars of Islam, and the first being declaring the creed that there is not God but God, and Muhammad is his prophet. The second is they're going to pray 5 times daily while facing Mecca, and if it's possible, pray also in public assembly at midday each Friday. The third, giving alms to the poor in the community, especially to widows and orphans. The latter is recommended at 2.5% of their income. Fourth, fasting each day during the month of Ramadan, the 9th month of the lunar year, although eating is permitted at night while they are fasting. And it's going to have a major feast marking the end of Ramadan. And finally, making the Hajj, a pilgrimage to Mecca, at least once in a lifetime, if it is at all possible. So Muhammad lays this foundation and then spreads it throughout Mecca, and he's able to have some success there because he has such a great family network. But though he has that network, even while they're still around, most Meccans are going to find the moral teachings too demanding. And on more practical grounds, they feared that his teachings were going to threaten their own beliefs. The people in Mecca were already Jewish or Christian, and they didn't think that their religions needed to be overhauled as Muhammad had called for. And as his family and network of support dies off, the people in Mecca are going to start to reject his teachings, force him to make his flight to Medina, to the north of Mecca. So he's going to get over there and start trying to help some bitter disputes between different people and tribes out there. Try to take over the solving of those problems, and as he does so, try to take over the reins of the government in Medina. He's going to be able to do this because they are already monotheists. They only believe that there's one God, and he thinks that he's going to and is gradually successful in converting them to Islam. This is going to be known as the Hijra. It is the date that the Muslims begin their calendar year as one, much like Christians start counting the time at Christ's birth as the first year. Though he in Medina is not going to be very successful in converting many of the Jewish people, other inhabitants are going to be happy to receive his message, and he'll consolidate the Ummah as the unified religious community of Muslims and start practicing or preaching that for Islam to survive, it's going to need to create a government, or Dar al-Islam. Going to have some success on the battlefield to really start its spread. The Battle of Badr in 624, he and his followers successfully raided a large Meccan caravan. This will reduce Mecca's prosperity by cutting important trade routes and winning local fame for themselves, thus helping spread the popularity of Islam. In 625, Mecca is going to fight back and will ultimately defeat Muhammad in another battle, but then in 627, in the Battle of the Ditch, which is going to be fought to a draw, Muhammad's going to grow in more fame as he continues to stand up to the wealthy Meccan traders. In 630, Mecca will ultimately surrender to Medina, and Muhammad will gain control of the Kaaba and destroy Meccan idols and turn the building with the sacred black stone into an Islamic shrine. In 632, Muhammad dies after creating an Arabia-wide federation dedicated to the faith and the political structure of Islam.